Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and day 12 of the January transfer window. And after FA Cup action yesterday with a 5-0 win against Morecambe, the transfer rumours are back in the swing of it. And we have had some breaking news in the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes. Chelsea wants to sign Jer Hernandez, the Deportivo La Coruña player. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard of him. We're going to dive into all of that. Got the latest with Disasi with Juventus interested in signing the defender. Hopefully, we can shift him on. Dortmund are about to step up their interest in Carney Chukwuemeka, looking to explore a loan deal. And we're now day 12. We're coming up to 2 weeks into the window, and we need to start getting a shift on with these outgoings to create space for some new players to come into the squad. Kvaratskhelia is not coming to Chelsea Football Club, guys. That deal with PSG should be wrapped up next week. But big up to everyone that is locked in. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. And let's get this show on the road. Let's say hello to a few people, and then we'll get cracking with all the news. We've only got 3 weeks left until the January window shuts, and we've not got backup midfielder yet. I hear you. After Tosin's performance yesterday, safe to say we don't need a new centre-back. No, brother, that's absolutely not the case whatsoever. Tosin is a good squad player, and he would be a good fourth-choice centre-back for us to have. And he is a fourth-choice centre-back. It's just he's obviously playing a lot more than expected because of the situation that we find ourselves in. What happens if Disasi leaves in January? If Disasi leaves in January, I think that will pave the way for Mark Gurhey to potentially come in. So let's wait and see on that. Bro, we don't need a new right back if Disasi leaves. We've got 3 right backs. We've got Reece James, Malo Gusto, and Josh Achimpong. We don't need any more right backs. And if Disasi leaves, then we can bring in a more competent centre back. Simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, big up, big up. Yeah, that's later on this afternoon. Yes, Jeff, hope you're doing well, bro. Rather have Kvaratskhelia. Brother, we're not going to get Kvaratskhelia. That is done. Napoli, PSG, pretty much done and dusted. City are moving mad. Well, City aren't doing anything necessarily different to what we've done in previous, in recent windows. They're signing young players with talent. Kuzmanov is a young up-and-coming centre-back, 20 years old, first Uzbeki player to play in the Premier League. They're looking at Omar Mamouche. They're looking at Victor Reis, or Reis, is that how you pronounce it? Yes, big up, big up. What is going on, people? Hope you're all well. But anyway, 60 in the building already. Make sure you're smashing those likes. What are we on? 24 likes. And let's get into the main breaking news, to be honest. Yes, big up, big up, big up. Let's get into the main breaking news, guys. And that is that Chelsea wants to sign Yeremay Hernandez. Chelsea want to sign Yeremay. Now, again, I've never heard of this guy before. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about him. I'll be perfectly honest, guys. I'm not even sure what position he's playing. But anyway, according to Relevo, this is a Spanish source. Yeremay bursts into the market. Chelsea wants him, and 2 powerful clubs from Italy and Germany have called. Yeremay Hernandez is in fashion, not only because he's a showy player with quality, a goal scorer and a dribbler, but because with his 8 goals and 3 assists, he has earned the attention of the big clubs in Europe. And they have already established contact not only with the player, but with Deportivo La Coruña to try to sign him. In fact, Chelsea are interested in the player. And the club have already made a firm offer to sign him, apparently. The conversations have been on the table for some time, and the English team have been insistent on signing him, even improving their initial proposal. In addition to Chelsea, there are 2 very important clubs that have also knocked on the door. One from Germany, another from Italy. Both clubs guarantee him to play in Europe. The talks are there, although there are 2 issues that must be highlighted. The first is that Yeremay would like to go to a project where he is firmly backed, which complicates but does not rule out the possibility of going to Chelsea, a club that tends to accumulate footballers. On the other hand, and even more important, the player is not going to force an exit, and the manner with which his representatives work is to bring to the offices of Deportivo an offer that is good for all parties. Otherwise, he'll not leave the club. He will not force it or do something similar. He is enormously grateful to Deportivo. The player, of course, has received inquiries from clubs in La Liga, but the economic situation is such that no club, at least at the moment, can come close to the 20 million euros, I presume, release clause that the player has with an offer that would make Deportivo think twice. It's going to be a key week, and he himself acknowledged this yesterday. I don't know. I'm talking to my agent. I don't know what's going to happen. If I leave, it will be to take a step forward. So Yeremay is clearly a winger, it looks like. So let's have a look at Yeremay's stats, guys, because I'll be honest, people, this is the first time that I've heard of this player. Jer Hernandez, Spanish footballer, Deportivo La Coruña, 22 years of age. Obviously fits the bill, guys. Obviously fits the bill for what we're looking for in terms of an age profile. He's a left winger. He's been capped twice for the Spanish under-21 team. He turned 22 in December. Are Deportivo La Coruña actually in La Liga? I'm not sure if they are in La Liga. Is my man? No, my man's doing a madness in La Liga too. So Deportivo aren't even in the Spanish top flight. So Yeremay Hernandez is doing his thing in the Segunda division, La Liga 2. So I mean, I don't know an awful lot about him. He's got 8 assists and 3 goals. So 8 goals, 3 assists in 18 La Liga 2 games. So that's 11 GNA in 18 appearances, which is not bad. Is not bad if we're being honest. But this is obviously the Segunda level. This is a Spanish second tier. So the equivalent of playing in the Championship, although the Championship's obviously a stronger division, but this is the Spanish equivalent of the Championship. He's predominantly a left winger, but can also play on the right-hand side. Was he in La Liga last season? Were Deportivo in La Liga last season? No, they weren't. Well, I don't know. Well, he certainly wasn't featuring anyway. So this is very much a player who's kind of come onto the radar maybe this season, I would suggest. But this is a left winger. Chelsea are obviously looking for a left winger, you know, in the absence of Mykhailo Mudryk. Mudryk, obviously, we're still waiting for that B sample to come back, but it's clear that we are looking for another winger to come into the fold, potentially, depending on the outcome of the Mudryk situation. But in terms of Yeremay Hernandez, obviously 22 years of age, fits the profile. 20 million euro release clause is not expensive, but I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy, but how much better is this guy really than Tyreek George, for example? Is he a lot better than Tyreek George? I don't know. I've never watched him play. Apparently, he's very good at dribbling. But other than that, I've not heard an awful lot about him. And I'm not really sure. I don't know how good he is. That's the reality of the situation. But it looks to me like a signing that if it does happen, or if we look to explore it, it's very much an opportunity in the market. Not very expensive, but I just don't know how much this really improves the squad. I mean, I'm not saying he's crap or anything like that. I've not watched enough of him, but is it of the level that's going to make a difference to the squad? I don't know. Again, let's be perfectly clear here. This has not been reported anywhere else other than Relevo, which is a fairly reputable Spanish source, but there's been nothing from the big hitters. Nothing from the big hitters, your Fabrizios, your Ornsteins, or people of a similar ilk. There hasn't been anything from them. This is obviously a fresh story. And you know, people on Twitter that supposedly have watched a lot of him say that he's a very good dribbler. But again, he's not played in the Spanish top flight. This is going off La Liga stats. So I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy. I don't know an awful lot about him. You know, he could be someone with big potential, but is it a Strasbourg signing? It's a possibility they could be using our name, but maybe we might be looking to do something with him in Strasbourg. Maybe I'm not really sure, to be brutally honest. He is a left winger who plays for Deportivo La Coruña, who are currently in the Spanish second division. So, yeah, I am a little bit unsure as to what is going on in this situation. You also said Adam Wharton was shit when our directors wanted him from Blackburn. Well, I mean, again, that was one report from a source that's not the most reliable, saying Chelsea were interested in Wharton. He may well have been on the list, but I don't think there was anything serious there. Potentially. Yeah, of course. Look, scouts know much more than us, and I've openly admitted after making mistakes in the summer, that I'm not going to judge someone just because I've not heard of them. But my thing would be how much of a level raiser or a difference maker would this guy be to the squad, and would he add something that maybe someone like a Tyreek George couldn't add? That's my main point with this. That's my main point. Is it something that a Tyreek George couldn't add? I don't know is the honest answer. But look, this is just reports. This is just rumors right now. But apparently an offer has already been made to sign the player, which is interesting. If Chelsea do press ahead and sign this guy, then I suspect that he will be either loaned back to Deportivo for the remainder of the season, or he will be sent somewhere else on loan. I cannot see this guy being sent to play anywhere else. Sorry, I can't see this guy coming in and featuring in the first team this season. For me, he's either loaned back for the rest of the season or he is loaned elsewhere. It's not about wanting big name players, but I wonder whether there's a situation where and again not all, some clubs do miss it, some clubs do miss out, but Yeremay Hernandez, again, if we do push to sign him, I'm not going to get annoyed about it. It could very well be one of these guys who actually doesn't really end up featuring for the first team. It's a good opportunity in the market. You loan him out for a few years and then you flip him for a profit. This could potentially, if we do sign it, if we were to sign him, then this could be one of those signings. There's no guarantee that this is someone that's going to go straight into the first team. If you get what I'm saying, people. You all frowned about Duran and Samu. No, look, I've openly admitted many times that I was wrong about that. But the scouts aren't going to be right about every single player. They're not going to be right about everyone, guys. So they will make mistakes. They will also make mistakes. Another winger surplus to requirements. I'd like us to get Jamie Gittins as well. I think Gittins would be a very good addition to the squad. But again, that's going to cost a lot of money. There's going to be a lot more competition for the signature of Jamie Gittins than Yeremay Hernandez. But sometimes you just got to put your trust in the people that they know what they're doing, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Bro, it's not about ambition. It's about being realistic. And Kvaratskhelia was never going anywhere else other than Paris Saint-Germain. He wanted to go there last summer. He gave them their word that he was going to go there. And I think other clubs are aware that that is exactly where he was going to go. Exactly where he was going to go. So, no, at the end of the day, we can say, we should be going for Kvaratskhelia, but sometimes you have to be realistic and accept that, yes, okay, you could try and you could put a bid and you can try and change a player's mind, but ultimately, Kvaratskhelia mind is pretty much made up. It was made up last summer. He wants to go to PSG. PSG is where he sees himself playing his football, and that's that. At the end of the day, does that mean that every club that doesn't go for Kvaratskhelia lacks ambition? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're saying here? Because I'm a little bit confused. I've never watched this guy. I've never heard of him. If you've said that you've watched him and you think he's better, then that's fine. But I've never seen Yeremay Hernandez play. bro, they'll keep Barcola. You know, they'll have Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, Ousmane Dembele, Desiree Doué. You know, this is a strong lineup that PSG are looking to put together. Insane squad depth, great options in the wide areas and whatnot. So, look, whilst this might not be the most exciting, as people are pointing out in the chat, you know, people were very quick to shit on Samu. People were very quick to shit on Duran. And you know, we would have quite happily taken either of those this season right now. So I get it. I get it from that point of view. I absolutely understand it from that point of view. And of course, you know, you have to put your trust in the scouts. And look, generally speaking, they've done a pretty good job. You're not going to get every single signing right, and the majority of the recruitment has been pretty good. But I think it's safe to say that, you know, some big mistakes were made in the summer, guys. Some big mistakes were made in the summer. And we're now trying to, you know, find a way to get out of a bit of a hole that we put ourselves in. Bro, Gittins won't go for 100 mil. But look, Chelsea have looked at Jamie Gittins 100%. They've sent scouts to Dortmund. Fabrizio has confirmed that. Liverpool are looking as well. There'll be big clubs in Europe who are also interested in Jamie Bino Gittins. No doubt about it. But if we're being brutally honest, people, any move for a winger is very much going to be dependent on what happens with Mykhailo Mudryk. That is the main thing. Whether people like it or not, Chelsea still have a big belief in Mykhailo Mudryk. They still have a big belief in his abilities, and they still back him. So it's that for me, this sort of a winger, like if we were going to move for a Yeremay Hernandez, that's not the sort of winger that would be a Mykhailo Mudryk replacement, for example. I would look at this as more of an opportunity within the market. If we went to move for, if we did move for Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia, that would be one way. Like, yeah, that is a Mykhailo Mudryk replacement. You have Sancho and Kvaratskhelia for the left, and you have Neto and Madueke for the right. But a Yeremay Hernandez, who is yes a left winger, I don't look at that as someone that would be coming in as a replacement for a Mykhailo Mudryk. That is my point. So I don't look at that as us looking to replace Mudryk, people. This wouldn't be that. But yeah, look, let's wait and see if any further you know, reports come out with us talking about you know, in relation to Yeremay Hernandez. The winger situation in general is interesting because we know that Sancho and Neto are locked in to be here next season. Esteban Willian's coming in. Mykhailo Mudryk, let's see what happens with the situation with the ban and whatnot. I don't think that. I think there's a chance that there could be two wingers out in the summer. I think that Mudryk could well be gone, and I also think there's a big chance that Noni Madueke could also be gone. So I think we're in a situation where we could be looking at two wingers moving out. You could maybe make a point that Esteval replaces one of them. We still, whether people like it or not, I still think we still need a left winger. We still need a left winger. In my opinion, you know, if the Mudryk ban gets upheld, you know, if it gets confirmed he's got a 4-year ban, even if it gets reduced to 15 months, we still need another option on that left-hand side. I don't think Tyreek George is quite ready for that. I don't think that Yeremay Hernandez, if we were to sign him, would necessarily be the answer to that. So quite who the answer is on the left-hand side, I'm not too sure. I don't think Kendry Paez will be played there. I think that all indications are that Paez will go out on loan. So, yeah, we're in an interesting situation where we actually do need a left winger, not through not through lack of recruitment, just through obviously circumstances that we never would have foreseen. You know, but yeah, I mean, what are you guys saying? No, I mean, look, we don't have that many. We've got 4. You know, 2 for the left and 2 for the right. That's not ridiculous. We have to be going all out for Gyökeres in the summer. We could bring back with what left with Costa. I don't think we're going to go for Gyökeres in the summer personally. A lot of talk with Gyökeres has gone very quiet in general. A lot of talk with Gyökeres has gone very, very quiet. I don't know where he's going to end up. I wouldn't bet against him ending up at Barcelona to replace Robert Lewandowski. Let's wait and see. But again, this Yeremay Hernandez, is this just would it be a Strasbourg signing? Is it an acceptance from Chelsea that Mudryk's not going to play for a while? I'm not really too sure. But end of the day, we do need a winger. But I'm just not sure whether this Yeremay Hernandez situation actually makes a big difference for us. That's where I'm just a bit like, I don't get this. I'm not really sure what the potential plan is here. Look, they could well think they found a gem and he's going to come straight into the first team squad, or he's going to go to Strasbourg. I don't know. I've never watched him. I haven't really heard of him until literally about half hour ago. But yeah, I'm not convinced. I have to be brutally honest. I'm not convinced, guys, that this is serious from us, or that this is a signing that is going to really help us finish in the Champions League. Look, bro, if you're saying he's a hidden gem, he's a hidden gem. Fair enough. But if he's so unbelievable, why has no one else taken a punt on him yet? Would be my point. But look, I could be wrong. Sterling's never going to put on a Chelsea shirt again. He is finitoed. He is absolutely done. So yeah, but look, I think it's important to remember, guys, that this is not being confirmed. That this is just one outlet in Spain reporting this. There's been nothing from anyone credible elsewhere. There's been nothing from any sources in England. This is the only place where this has come from, is Relevo in Spain. So we wait and see. We wait and see on that as to whether this is actually going to go any further. I don't think it will. So we will see on that one. We will absolutely see on that one. We will see on that one. But yeah, wingers are needed, and people talking about being excited for Esteban Willian, I get that, but there's no point putting a load of pressure on an 18-year-old who is making a huge move. There's no point putting big pressure on him to an expectation that he's going to come in and just deliver straight away. He's not. It's gonna take time. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a big adjustment, a huge adjustment for him to so yeah, I think we need someone. Felix is not a winger, and Nkunku's not a winger. Tyreek George maybe not quite ready yet to play regularly in the Premier League and whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot coming in. Let me just get to this super chat. Big up to Stephen again, as always. Thank you, brother. What do you feel will be our centre-back pairing end of the window? I'm going to stick my neck out there. I'm going to go Chilwell and Mark Guehi. I think we'll get a deal done for Mark Guehi. If not, I think it will be Chilwell and Chalobah. But again, we could never be surprised with what Chelsea do in the transfer window. We could get Mark Guehi and we could do nothing and roll the dice on playing Josh Achimpong and Levi Colwill together for the remainder of the season until he comes back. I don't know, to be honest. No, Nico Williams, bro, he's not better than Nico Williams. Let's not do this nonsense. Let's not do this nonsense. The geezer's got 2 caps for the Spanish under-21 team. You're trying to tell me he's better than Nico Williams, who tore it up for Spain at the actual Euros. Let's not be silly here. Samu, Duran, Cole Palmer, don't judge this one. The rest, so they buy this kid. I'm backing it. Look, I'll support anyone that signs for the football club, 100%. All I'm saying is I'm just not sure if this is helping us in any way. If we were to do it, that's all I'm saying, people. I don't know enough about him, but let's just see whether any more concrete interest comes through in terms of that. I think I would imagine, and again, I could be wrong. I would imagine that this is if it were, I suspect this is more of a Strasbourg signing using Chelsea's name. I would be very surprised if this was a Chelsea signing going straight into the first team squad. But that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong on that. I could be totally wrong, but it sort of smells like a Strasbourg signing, guys, rather than a Chelsea signing. That's my personal opinion. I could be totally wrong, but that would be my initial thoughts when I saw this. Bro, just because he's 22 doesn't mean it's for Chelsea. You know, with 22, he can easily go to Strasbourg. So yeah, I don't see how this makes an immediate difference to the first team squad. I think it's I think it would be a Strasbourg signing, and they're just using Chelsea's name to in the headlines because it's going to get more traction. That's my personal opinion on it. But I don't know for certain. We will obviously find out in due course. Yeah, of course he is. I don't know why people are trying to start a nonsense about this guy being better than Nico Williams. Like, certain people are moving mad in the chat, moving absolutely mad. Egbali and Feliciano, pure profit scumbags. Well, to be honest, what I would say is I think a lot of good business has been done by Chelsea in general. I think it's poor that we've spent so much money and we still need a number of positions to be filled. But I think a lot of the recruitment in general has been good. Has been good. Well, to be fair though, I suspect this is a Strasbourg signing. And look, people also need to realise that you can work on more than one deal at once. You can be spinning multiple plates. You can definitely be. I don't know. I mean, what would you? I mean, look, you would chuck in early doors, Koulibaly, Aubameyang, Sterling. These guys obviously not good business, but generally, and then this summer you could look at signing Dewsbury Hall. Not good business. But generally speaking, I think there's been more good business than bad business. But there absolutely has been some bad signings. No doubt about it. I'm not denying that whatsoever. There has 100% been bad signings. No doubt about it, guys. No doubt about it whatsoever. But yeah, I think there's been more good business than bad business, but it doesn't mean there's not been bad business. No, I just think that's not true. I think, Enzo, Caicedo, I think Lavia is a great signing. Cole Palmer, Nico Jackson, Gusto. I think Pedro Neto is going to be a good signing. Like there's bad business, but there is 100% more good business than bad business, is what I'm saying. Like, not everything has been a total disaster. Not everything has been a total disaster. Guys, we're at 154 likes, 154 in the building, sorry. Make sure you smash the likes up. Subscribe if you're new round here, all that good stuff. But let's get this up to 100 likes, guys. We're 150 in the building. So please keep smashing the like button and subscribe if you are new round here as well. That would be greatly appreciated, guys. But run these likes up. We need 9 more likes. Sorry, 9 more subscribers, guys, to hit 15.2k. There's 143 in the building. We should be able to knock those final 9 subscribers off, guys. So if you're new around here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's hit 15.2k. Let's get it done. But yeah, keep smashing the likes as well. So yeah, look, this Jer Hernandez for me is a Strasbourg signing if anything comes of this whatsoever. But I would be very, very surprised. Very, very surprised if this is for Chelsea. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So there we go. There we go. So anyway, moving away from this Yeremay Hernandez, let's move on to let's move on to outgoings then. And it's day 12 now, but it looks like we could be getting a little bit closer to some players moving out the door. And one of those looking like it could well be Axel Disasi. Obviously, captained the team yesterday. I will be glad when he leaves in the nicest way possible. But Juventus are showing interest in Axel Disasi, according to our good friends over at Demartio in Italy. Juventus continues their search for a new centre-back. Chelsea's Disasi is in their sights. In addition to Antonio Silva, who's meeting with his agent and Benfica will be on Sunday, Barcelona's Ronaldo Araujo is also liked, and Chelsea's Disasi. Chelsea have opened up to the possibility of loaning Disasi with an obligation to buy linked to the number of appearances made. Juve are evaluating him as a possible second defender to buy in this transfer window and should therefore be considered as a name in addition to those mentioned above. Now, I think with Disasi, guys, sometimes you just have to accept A, it's time to go, and B, you've made a mistake in a transfer market. I think Disasi would be good at a club like Juve. I think he'd be good in Serie A. I think that those things are abundantly clear in my mind. I think he would do well in that in Serie A. But yeah, look, I don't know what sort of price Chelsea are thinking they're going to get for Disasi. We're going to get nowhere near the 39 million quid we paid for him. And I think at this point in time, let's just get him out. If you have to take a loan with an obligation based on appearances, you take the loan and you just keep moving. That's the reality of it, guys. You take the loan and you keep on moving. Simple as that. Take the loan and we move. That is what we are. That is what we're hoping to do. I say we're hoping to do. That's what I'd like to see. That's what I'd like to see happen. But at the same time, I just think this could be very difficult. I think at some point we just have to accept that we're not going to get the fee that we want. Maybe we're not going to get a permanent departure. But if a loan offer comes in, let's just get the loan. Let's move him out. Let's create space to bring in a Mark Gurhey, for example, and let's actually make improvements to the squad. Let's wait and see, bro. The one thing to remember is don't take everything literally or seriously that managers say about transfers in their press conferences, because half the time they just say stuff not to give anything away. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying on that one. The rest are saying, we don't need a centre back. I wouldn't believe him for 1 second on that. But look, I think Disasi. I think for me, Disasi needs to go. It's evident that he's not good enough. It's evident that he's fifth choice centre back when everyone's fit. And it's time to go. It's time to go. Let's free up space in the squad and just take whatever offer comes in for him within reason, obviously. If it needs to be a loan, it needs to be a loan with an obligation. That's absolutely fine. A loan with an obligation is as good as a permanent sale, really, anyway, because a loan with an obligation, depending on the criteria, is basically a permanent sale. So there's no issues. There's no issues there at all. But I just think Disasi is no good with the ball at his feet. Look, yes, he played I think he made 44 appearances under Mauricio Pochettino last season. But at the end of the day, it's one of those where it's clear he's not a big part of the plans. It's clear that we need to move this guy on. No, we signed Disasi because we forced out Chalobah. Disasi was technically the Chalobah replacement, as it were. That's why we signed him. And the fact Disasi's fifth choice centre back. When everyone's fit, Disasi's fifth choice centre back. There's no space for him in the squad. You know, he's behind Chilwell, Badiashile, Fofana, Achimpong now, and Tosin. So actually, if you include Achimpong in the centre back pool, Disasi is sixth choice centre back at Chelsea with everyone fit. So look, as much as I'm sure he's a nice guy, he's respected off the pitch, he's a bit of a leader around the place with some of the younger players. We need to get rid. We need to get rid. And if we can find a decent offer, if a decent offer comes in, then let's speak and let's do it. But I just feel like if we're trying to hold out for unrealistic asking prices and unrealistic valuations, then we're just going to be wasting time. It's already day 12. We need to start moving some of these guys out. We don't want to be waiting until like the final week of the window to shift a few more of these guys out. That just isn't possible. I think, Ed, there are a couple of international loan spots left. I'm pretty sure there's one or two international loan spots left, which is why, you know, we can use one of those for Mr. Disasi. David Washington, I don't even know if this guy exists anymore. I have to be honest, I've got no idea if the geezer exists. So yeah, but I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he certainly was a complete waste of money. I'm not really sure what the thought process was there. But look, it looks like that that Axel Disasi has got interest from certain suitors. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think Juve. I don't know. I think Juve could make an offer. I don't necessarily think it's BS. I do believe that they could for sure make an offer. Anselmino is not ready for first team football yet. He's still getting used to things. Guys, we're 7 likes away from 100 and we're 170 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Keep smashing that like button. We're 7 likes from 100 and we're 7 subscribers from 15.2k. So hit that subscribe button if you are new round here. Keep smashing the likes, all of that good stuff, people. You know what to do. Let's get the 7 likes and the 7 subscribers boxed off. Let's get it done, guys. You know, Juve are going to make an offer of like 15 million euros. Yeah, brother, I hear you. That's a normal shit that these guys do. But I'll be honest, 15 million euros is about 11, 12 million pounds. I mean, would I take that? We probably need to be getting a little bit more than that. But yeah, still, I get people's point that, you know, we just need to start moving these guys on. You know, you're not going to get your 40 million pounds for Carney Chukwuemeka. You just take the loan deal and you just crack on with it. These guys need to just go and play. We need to free up a little bit of space in the squad to actually make a difference for players who are going to come through the door. That is what we need to be doing. That's what we need to be doing, guys. But I mean, yeah, we can hope and pray that someone will come in and make an offer for Axel Disasi, even if it's a loan with an obligation, even a loan with an option, and we just move the guy on. We just move the guy on, pure and simple. Let's get him done. Let's get him done. Let's get him out of here. He doesn't offer anything. He's not of the required standard. Thanks for your service. Appreciate what you've done, but we need to move on to bigger and better things. That's the harsh reality of where we're at with certain people right now. And Axel Disasi falls into that category. Bro, the signings. I'll tell you what. People turn a blind eye to Roman because of all the success we had. Some of the recruitment was absolutely shambolic, or lack of recruitment. You know, look back to some of the final few years under Roman. The recruitment was absolutely shocking. So this idea that the recruitment's there's only been recruitment mistakes since the new ownership came in is a nonsense. Roman was fantastic. We all love him. Let's not pretend that the recruitment was good, because some of the recruitment was absolutely horror. Absolute horror. Some of the recruitment. Yes, all good, brother, all good. Hope you're well. Yeah, this is my point. This is my point. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was horrible. The last sort of 2 or 3 years, the recruitment was dreadful, absolutely shocking. In certain situations, absolutely dreadful. But yeah, look, Axel Disasi, Juventus are reportedly interested in him, according to Damarcio. I'm not really too sure what other clubs are there right now for Disasi. I don't think there's really that many, but you never know. You never know. There might be a few others there, but Juventus are certainly the ones that seem to be having the strongest links with Disasi. So let's see how it materializes. I hope that we get, you know, a bit more. I hope we get a bit more, you know, from other clubs. But at the end of the day, we just need to find. We just need to, you know, even if there's only one club interested, we sort of just have to accept that maybe we're not going to get the money or the offers that we thought we were for some of these players. So yeah, there we go on that. But Axel Disasi attracting interest from Juventus. Chelsea reportedly, according to Damarcio, open to a loan with an obligation based on the number of appearances. Let's get it done. Let's stop wasting time. Let's start moving some of these guys out of the window, out of the club, and create some space in the squad for some incomings to help us achieve Champions League football over the second half of the season. Yep, he did. I mean, to be fair, Rudiger was a good signing in the end, but yeah, I get your point. Yeah, it does. It does a little. It does a little bit. But a lot of this is not really KDH's fault in terms of how his move to Chelsea's gone, and it's not really his fault that, you know, he's not being offered the opportunities. I think he was obviously lied to a lot. So yeah, it's just the way it goes. You know, there's only one. There's only one place to go. Scott McLachlan was our scout under Roman. I'll never forget when they signed Sal Niguez on loan instead of going for Aurelian Tchouameni. Yep. Remember those guys? Remember those days, guys? Remember those days, guys, when we decided that Tchouameni wasn't ready, but Sal Niguez on loan was the answer instead of signing him? Mental. Absolutely mental. Yeah, I know. Imagine. Imagine. But yeah, there we go. What else is going on, people? Oh yeah, Carney Chukwuemeka. Let's move on to his future. It looks like Borussia Dortmund are going to step up their pursuit of Carney Chukwuemeka. And this to me makes sense. This to me makes sense. Chelsea, by the way, need to accept that we are not getting £40 million release clause for Carney Chukwuemeka. The sooner we accept that, then the easier it's going to be for us. Because Carney Chukwuemeka, we are not getting the £40 million release clause for him. I know reports are saying that Chelsea don't want to entertain a cut price sale. Well, unfortunately, guys, we're not really going to have too much of a choice. We are going to have to accept a cut price sale because we're not going to get very much money for this guy because he simply hasn't played very much football at all. Yes, he's got potential. Yes, there's ability there. But what Chukwuemeka needs is a loan somewhere for him to go and play on a regular basis. And Mitch is spot on here. It could be a situation where, look, there wasn't really much of a market for Ian Martson, right? He goes to Dortmund. There's a great 6-month loan. They make the Champions League final and whatnot. And then we get over £30 million for him. Chukwuemeka, it could work to a similar degree. We're not going to get our £40 million release clause for him in January. Send him on loan to Borussia Dortmund, a place where they're known to give young players opportunities, look after youngsters, and they've got a great record of developing them. Allow this guy to go and play regularly for 6 months. Hopefully, he can put in some very good performances. And then you're far more likely to get your £40 million release clause for a 22-year-old who's still got a lot of potential and a lot of ability. So that's what we should be doing. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that. But Chukwuemeka to Dortmund is it's a move that makes sense. It's a move that is good for all parties involved. So I don't understand why you wouldn't look at doing that. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's the right move. Look, again, depending on how many slots we've got available, I think we have 2 slots available for international loans, if I'm not mistaken. So this would make a lot of sense. And I'd be very pleased with Carney going to Dortmund. I think it would be great for him, a chance to experience a new country, new league, new culture, and all that sort of thing. And I'm sure Jadon Sancho will be speaking to him about Dortmund as well. But we just need Carney to go and play regular football, stay injury-free, and we will absolutely get the £40 million release clause for Chukwuemeka in the summer, providing this loan spell goes well for him. But I'm convinced we'll get the £40 million for him. I really am. I really am convinced we'll get the 40 for him. But he needs to go and have a really good loan. That much is clear. He needs to go and have a really good loan. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that. But yeah, a good loan. A loan's not useless. It just gets them out and playing, and it attracts potential new suitors. That's the big thing. Like, yes, you ideally want an obligation, but a loan with an option is not bad at all. A loan with an option is not bad at all, guys. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best on that front. But yeah, I think a loan with an option is decent. What's wrong with a loan with an option? Guys, we're 4 subscribers away from 15.2, 160 in the building still. Let's get these final 4 subscribers knocked off. If you're a new subscriber around here, make sure you introduce yourself in the chat, smash the likes and all that good stuff. We're at 111 likes. Let's get this up to 120, 130 likes. Keep smashing the like button, people. It's free. It takes seconds, and it helps me out more than you can believe, as Matisse says, more than you can believe. I don't know if the owners did Carney dirty. It's one of them signings that we made, and he's on 100 grand a week. Shouldn't really be on that money. If he signed him now, he wouldn't be on anywhere near that much money. And yeah, it's just not worked out for him. Injuries have caused him a lot of issues, and the reality is, despite his talent, his ability, and his potential, that the players in his position that are ahead of him are just considerably better, in my opinion. I mean, look, Sahin's not doing an amazing job, but he is someone that, you know, Carney will play. He will play. He'll definitely play for them. He'll definitely play for them. Yeah, this is the thing though. When players have been so injured, like you have been injured so much, we need to go and just get them playing regularly. You know, that's the most important thing right now. And there is no point keeping Chukwuemeka at the club because you want to sell him permanently. It's a complete waste of everyone's time. A complete waste of everyone's time. Because if you keep Chukwuemeka at the club right this window, let's just say he doesn't leave, you're not getting the 40 million release clause in the summer, and you've just literally pretty much wasted a season of his career. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. What's the latest on Ben Chilwell? He's leaving, but I just don't think there's that many suitors for Chile. There's not that many suitors for him, which is a problem. There's not that many suitors for him. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know how many years Chile's got left on his contract, but we might have to reach a point where we agree some sort of payoff with him, and he can leave as a free agent or something like that, because that's the problem. That's the problem right now, is you can have these players, but there's no interest. There's hardly any interest in Chilwell. I don't know where the guy's going to go, but wherever he goes, he's going to have to take a pay cut. And yeah, it's going to be a bit problematic for us, guys. It's going to be looking a bit techy for us with Chilwell. You know, so we'll see. I don't know if they'll beat them. I think Spurs will probably just nick a goal near the end or something. Yeah, probably. At the end of the day, yeah, we probably paid more than we should have paid for Caicedo, but Caicedo will absolutely be worth that money. You know, he's worth that money. I can't remember. He signed a new 4-year deal. It could have been right at the start. I think it was. Bro, the Chinese, I don't even know if the Chinese league is a thing anymore. What about West Ham? Maybe West Ham for Chile. I don't know. Now that Graham Potter's in there, let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, I don't really know, guys. If we're being totally honest here, I don't really know. I don't know. Terminate his contract. I mean, it's not as simple as that. Certainly for the remainder of this season. What happens in the summer, I don't know. I know they've got a big belief in Mike Penders. I know there's a big belief in his abilities. So let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, look, there's big belief in Mike Penders. So yeah, we go from there. We go from there. Any news on Mark Gurhey? No news on Mark Gurhey, other than what's already been covered in recent, over the last few days. So we wait. I think next week there could be some interest in Mark Gurhey, but I don't know. I still think we can get a deal done. We can still get a deal done for him. That's my opinion. We can definitely get a deal done for Gurhey, but I'd expect that if we're gonna move for Gurhey, then I think we are looking for a situation where we move. If we're serious, I think there'll be some movement next week. That's what I'm expecting. So yeah, that is what I'm expecting. You know, bro, we've already covered that Yeremay Hernandez stuff. Well, we haven't got any midfield depth is the problem, you know. So yeah, that's not ideal. But yeah, let's hope that, Lavia can stay fit. Let's bring Ugo Chukwu back. And then maybe we need to look at addressing the situation potentially in the summer. That maybe that's what we need to be. Maybe that's what we need to be doing. I don't know. But yeah, if we believe in Penders that much, bring him next summer. Even though Penders won't be the number one at 19/20. I think Penders will go on loan again next season. So let's let's see. Let's see on that. I'd probably say he is, but again, it depends what other options we have, and if those options might be available in the summer, then part of me feels that maybe you just bring Trev back if he's happy to come back, and then you reassess in the summer. Gerhi would have a year left on his contract; it'd be much cheaper. These are all kind of different possibilities that we do have available to us. These are different possibilities that we have available to us. So we just have to wait and see, really. But yeah, look, Carney to Dortmund makes a lot of sense. There's no reason why we shouldn't be doing that. So let's just go and get that done. Let's just go and get this done. And that for me is the obvious thing. You just go and sign. You get this done. Look, don't obviously get mugged off by Dortmund, but do a deal. These guys need to be going to play, because what people need to realize is that there's no point having assets that aren't playing, because they're just depreciating in value every time they don't play. So, if you have to accept a deal that's not really preferable to you, then so be it, because these guys need to go and play in an attempt to try and raise their transfer value, because right now we're not really raising anything. We're not really raising anything right now with these guys not playing. So if you have to accept a slightly worse deal to go and get these guys out and playing, then that's what you do. You maybe have to take a little bit of short-term pain, which will probably come back and help you in the longer run. I mean, there's very few players that are actually worth over £100 million. But if Caicedo stays at Chelsea for 5-6 years and we win major trophies and he's a big part of it, which he likely would be, then I think that money is well spent. No one's talking about Caicedo's price tags now, because he is the best midfielder in the Premier League this season. Obviously Rodri's injured, so he's the best midfielder in the league this season. He's been absolutely outstanding this season. And no one's mentioning the price tag. No one's mentioning the price tag at all, because he's playing really well. Which is the way that it should be. Yeah, Liam Rosenior is not really. I don't know how well he's doing at Strasbourg. I know Andre Santos is balling out there, but yeah, I'm not too sure how well Rosenior is doing particularly there. So we'll have to we'll have to wait and see, guys. We will have to wait and see on that front, people. We'll have to wait and see on that front. Yeah, he did. So that to me gives it a bit more credibility and a bit more legs, considering he's obviously quite a reputable journalist. But again, I'm not saying it's not true. I just think we need to see it come from a few more concrete sources before we start really taking it seriously. But it's out there. So let's see. Let's see on that. But yeah, Carney to Dortmund, gathering pace. I expect some sort of movement in that within the next week. Because otherwise we're just wasting time, and we need to get these things on the move. We need to get these things moving. So we'll have to see. Guys, keep smashing the like button. We're 118 likes, 140 in the building still. Let's get this up to 120, 130 if we can. Please keep smashing that like button. And please also keep subscribing to the channel. Guys, have we hit 15.2 yet? Let me know. Have we hit 15.2 yet on the subscribers? But yeah, let's run it up. Let's run it up though, people. We've got to run this up. Have we reached 120? Have we reached 120? Let's have a look. We have reached 120. Fantastic. Have we reached 15.2k subscribers yet, guys? We're one more subscriber needed. One more subscriber. One of these 150 people needs to smash that subscribe button, and we will be on the 15.2. So make sure we're doing that. So there must be one person in here that's not subscribed. Make sure you're that guy and get it to 15.2 people. Yeah, look, 2 weeks is a long time in football, but I just want us to start getting, a bit more of a shift on, to be perfectly honest. I want to see us start get a bit more of a shift on and start getting these guys out. We need to start getting these guys out. Start moving certain man on. Let's get it done. And yeah, let's see what happens in regards to incomings. I think incomings are going to be linked to outgoings, not from a financial perspective, just purely from a space in the squad perspective. So yeah, let's look at it. I don't think it's no news because it's a Sunday. I think it's just no news, maybe because there's no news right now in regards to that. Maybe on Monday you're likely to get a bit more news, but no one knows when the news is going to come. That's the thing. No one knows when the news is going to come. That's the thing, people. No one truly knows when that news is coming. So we will wait and see in regards to that. Yes, big up, guys. Fantastic, great job, people. Love for all the support. We're on to the 15.2. We're heading towards that 16k now, guys. So let's keep it moving, people. But yeah, anyone got any questions about anything in the chat? Do let me know. I'll be honest. I don't think the midfield's that unbalanced. I think with Lavia, it's a lot more balanced. But we've played some fantastic games with Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo in there. The midfield is nowhere near as bad as it was last season. It was an absolute shambles last season. There were a lot of gaps there. I don't think the midfield's anywhere near as bad as what people are making out. But everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't think it's that unbalanced at all, to be perfectly honest. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion at the end of the day. But let's have a look. Anyone got any questions about anything in the chat, people? Let me know. Otherwise, I will have a look to see if there's any further stuff that's coming. Keep smashing the likes, guys. Let's get it to 130. We're on 126. Run it up. What else is going on this Sunday afternoon? Any new news? Sunday afternoon settings. Let's have a quick gander. I don't know. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too much more coming in, but we got any questions in the chat? When am I eating lunch? Probably after this, I'd imagine. Yeah. Why does the bridge have a dead? It doesn't always. I'm not really sure what the answer to it is. I think it's like, I think a lot of Premier League crowds are struggling with it. You know, now that Premier League football is such a big tourist attraction, there's a lot more corporate, a lot more hospitality stuff. It doesn't generate the best atmosphere. Missing chances. Yes, big up, brother. Not amazing, but to be expected. You know, it's an FA Cup third round against a League Two side. It's never going to be full. There's going to be a lot of tourists, a lot of young families and whatnot, which is fine. And the pricing for it was outrageous. It was 34 quid to go and watch fucking Morecambe. So, yeah. He had an ACL injury. He's close to returning, though. So, yeah, he should be back at some point soon. But, yeah, no, he won't be doing a madness in the first team or anything. I don't know. I put it down to not taking our chances. I put it down to just like eventually you are going to hit a blip in form. That's just what happens. So yeah, that's what I put it down to. Yeah, I get the feeling that Nkunku doesn't really want to be here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know really, but yeah, Nkunku, I get the feeling he's not really that asked about being here, which yeah, you can understand that. You can understand that. You really can. Nkunku wants to leave. No, look, you're not going to do some sort of big celebration against a fucking League Two team in the cup. That's the reality. But yeah, bro. Even if we beat Bournemouth, like the reality is, we're in a big race for the top four, and that was always going to be the case this season. Anyone else that thought otherwise was probably kidding themselves and has probably deluded themselves slightly. So, yeah, we will wait and see on that one. We will wait and see. Raheem Sterling makes the bench today for Arsenal. Still no start for him because he's shite, but it's not really good for us that because we actually need him to play some minutes to try and get in a team. To try and get in a team. That's what we need, guys. That is what we need. But yeah, keep smashing the likes. One more like to 130. Let's try and get us to 140 if we can. I'm going to go for another couple of minutes. No, the plan was always for them just to play one half yesterday. We got to slowly integrate these guys back into the team. There's no point rushing them back and then losing them again. That's exactly what we don't want to. That's exactly what they don't want to do. Exactly what we don't want to happen. Yeah, they are key for Tuesday. Whether they'll both start, I don't know, is the honest answer to that. I suspect there's more chance of James starting than Lavia personally. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know for certain, people. I don't know for certain. But yeah, let's see if we can find any more on Yeremay Hernandez. Can we find any more on Yeremay Hernandez? No, I don't think we can. I don't think we can. So we shall see on that. We shall see on that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. I know this Spurs one, there could be a bit of a cup set, but there might not be. Yeah. But yeah, agreed. I mean, Arsenal Man United might be all right later on, but generally speaking, a lot of these cup games, certainly in the early rounds, there's very few that are actually exciting. We have to be honest here. There are very few the very few that are actually exciting. We have to be real here. We have to be real here, and we have to be honest, guys. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, but I think United could maybe pull a surprise. I don't know. I don't know much about him at all, to be honest. 83 minutes, Tamworth 0, Spurs 0. Yep, standard. Gooners win 2-0. You're going to watch the FA Cup draw later? No, probably not. It's not particularly exciting. I will keep half an eye on it to see who we get. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a particular interest in it. But I suspect we'll be at home against like a lower league side. To be perfectly honest, that would be my prediction. Guys, 128 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get this up to 130 likes if we can. Let's get these last couple of likes, people. That would be greatly appreciated before we round out. But yeah, Yeremay Hernandez, one to keep an eye on for Chelsea, one to keep an eye on. Chukwuemeka, Disasi. Let's see what happens with those potential outgoings in the next, in the coming days and whatnot. And yeah, let's see if we do any business whatsoever. But we need to get a move on with these outgoings. I'm not like getting worried about it or panicking about it, but we do need to get a move on with the outgoings. 100% we need to get a move on. So let's hope that we do see a bit more action, a bit more news, a bit more developments and whatnot in next week, because that's going to be day 13 tomorrow. Let's make sure that we get there. We've obviously got the Bournemouth game coming up as well, guys, on Tuesday night. So that's a big game there as well. In the Premier League, we return to action. So yeah, it's all coming thick and fast, people. It is coming thick and fast. The action, the transfers, the games. All of this stuff. Really, really exciting, guys. Really exciting. So, yeah, it's a good time of the year to be a football fan. But it'd be better if we could just get a few additions to the squad, which I feel would really help us get to where we need to in terms of qualifying for the Champions League this season. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate all the love, all the support, as always. Please smash that like button on the way out. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. If there's any major breaking news, I'll be back later on. If not, we'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. UK time, for all the latest transfer news. A look ahead to the Bournemouth game and whatnot. So make sure you tune in then, people. As I said, if we get any major news tonight, I don't think we will. I'll be back later on. But if not, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks for the support, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the FA Cup games if you're watching them. And yeah, up the Chelsea and peace.